Bella so pese wo ye high life. Besides one obegina no se na ni je ho pa. Yes ye ni je ho. Inti on tem category bi nso wo ho sa. Inti wontenam. And as we speaking about music and artists and whatnot no na ye ba max agenda no na ye nim se VGMA na ebe. Nominations no ye hwe. So one hwe me dem hwe. Me hwe nominees you know. Yeah, it was brilliant. I love the performances. I love the performance from Adina and episode to there was this lady. That's my first time me to say to gospel sign. It was breaking, you know. And yes, Afe. Is it Afe?
Afe Grace.
Yeah, Afe Grace, yes. And it gives me to be looking up to a lot of things that are going to be happening in the VGMAs. It's an award a year. In some so esamba category na we can hey Ghana for. To never I quite say Black Stars say bobo. Black Stars do pack na coaches na than 24 million. Aha, so na was ne bape na fe de otumu se board na ne academy kro na wo mo ankasa form so wo mo ye 10 so wo mo ye 5 na academy board no more than 24 million. Obia can be obia, but rules are rules. In every a friend is saying organization bia so no wo policies wo rules wo senia wo ye wo made wo don ho bekwa akwa wo ho de ya na wo se wo so hu se na ye hyehye no etie entina enne no you know we have Ro back here. He's been here before. We have him back here to explain to us about the VGMA this year. Actually, this year. VGMA not this year after the nominees, you know, Diana Eba, Vetra na Bamuno, Senior Bayano, Yebenya who's wearing what are you wearing or who are you wearing? No, Ebeba Swada, and when exactly should we be expecting it? All of that in the conversation we're going to be having on the Max Agenda. Internet, let us welcome Ro. And ne obeka bebre atre obi anu maka na me so ha me.
I thought you were going to ask Rose what award will you be given on that night.
Oh me I said be crowd up.
You know
baby na oh baby free buy.
I can see.
What was saying free I say free I say.
But eventually we'll see who's going to say.
You'll see. Oh, okay. So we want to know about the industry what is happening this time around. Somehow, no, I have been on social media, you know, checking things that I've been on television to watching, following wherever you go. The last time it was so near Hammond, you know, where you were talking deeply about one or two things concerning the VGMAs, you know. And you have been following because social media phones also categories be our montias artists be akoshe we akoshe ha montias board no in samuntias and you Kwame that's so my home toy and nsem bebre, you know. So but at least you're here so that we can ask you how's the VGMA anyway this year.
We thank God that the VGMA is doing what it's been designed to do for the 22nd time. Last year was crazy and somehow everything was just, you know, thrown into mayhem completely because of some unseen enemy that we're all fighting against. And it's not just Ghana, it's in all around the world. And somehow, some way, we sailed through. And kudos to governments, kudos to medical experts, kudos to the frontline health workers. You know, life is beginning to get some form of restoration, and we are excited about it. For us in the events industry, there's still a question mark. The fact that also social distancing is restricted, it simply means that events of whatever nature cannot hold. We're just praying that the restrictions around social distancing or social events can be eased up. If that one eases up, it makes it easier for us to return to normalcy, so to say. But otherwise, I must say that businesses have been affected. Of course, the impact can be felt in what we are doing. Budgets have been cut down. People have, you know, taking the back burner in terms of they not wanting, like there's no funds even for them to support you, and etc. etc. So the hard hit aspect of what we are doing has been heavy, because some people were furloughed, some people we had to slash down salaries. It's huge, you know, and so we coming back and being able to do what we've been doing is.
Well, you said hopefully, say the social distancing and whatnot. No, gukakra sena VGM and will go on. Well, I doubt social distancing say ye be kwan kra say yempie na yenkwaji ani kra na I doubt say social distancing ne de won be yi afri ho no but would you say yeah vaccine na be ya ye wo won kakran kakrai e bia no so beboa ama asesa events no show no say na ye pese ye na na.
Or certainly, say if for as long as people are confident in the fact that they can relate to each other,
right?
Then what it simply means is that it's going to reduce the risk of turning out for projects or for programs or events. This morning I was just watching something on how people need to have their vaccine passports to be able to travel and to attend concerts and football games and stuff like that. Just what it simply means, they say you can't to attend any of these events. You need proof of having received your vaccine because it's not by force for you to get a vaccine.
Exactly.
But then it's also now an entry requirement or a flying requirement, so to say. So
in friends, this Easter celebration, we're told, I was watching on TV at CNN where they said that people who have taken the vaccine can now gather and party together and all of that. If a majority of Ghanaians have done that, do you feel we can open up an auditorium where people can come to the VGMA?
I mean that goes without saying because then the government will not have an issue for people to gather because then they can just say that if you don't have X, you cannot do Y. You understand? So basically, it's not like it's the way the world is moving. So I mean, who am I to say? But the baseline is for as long as the government allows for people to meet, we are going to take advantage of that because that is how our system or our events have been designed to function in the past, and we love that, we miss that, and would really want to be able to get back to it.
You miss it so much.
You don't?
Oh, it's a new world. That's where we at right now. So, but like
all things really cool. Who wants to?
Who wants to relate to gadgets?
But it's happening. We watch.
It's happening. We get that. But
you on your phone 24 hours. If not, maybe let's say 18 hours a day. Yeah.
So I saw your stuff on. I saw elements of the things you were doing
with
Exo and stuff like that. That I laughed. Ha ha ha. Okay, yeah, I like.
Baby
okay, case closed, dude. So what if it was like reunion back in the past? Bring the past to the present. Boys met or boys meet and then have this kind of experience. It'll be past. What's all these gadgets elements?
It'll be if we're supposed to be doing it like one-on-one, like saying that, or even like all things being equal. Yeah, right. Be crowd now. No, when be now. Not just go back to the virtual thing. Happening.
Imagine if you transfer this particular thing to an evening session where you turn your car park into people coming around to come and watch because you could have.
That's a brilliant
idea.
Yeah.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Thing.
And then you have Exdo and stuff like that. You're doing, with the thought you're Chicago, and then maybe I don't know if GD Dems and stuff will be around, and take us back to the time and.
You miss it so much.
Exactly.
You do miss it so much.
That's human interaction. Community is always important.
Exactly.
Now we're here. So the success of the VGMA, where do we go at this very moment? We're here. Let's say we're not going to have people in the auditorium, whatnot.
If you're not going to have people in the auditorium, then I guess the way we'll go is the virtual, right? If we are not, so I can't.
You're still hopeful.
Oh yeah, I'm hopeful.
I like that.
So currently, one of the things that we have on our plate is looking at the hybrid edition. That's what we did last year. Last year we had a few folks in the cast and crew, and then industry members or industry folks who were present to be able to do presentation of awards and also just to be able to watch what was going on. So cast and crew plus a few media personalities, etc. So it wasn't like the regular huge numbers that we've been having. Tickets were not sold to anybody. It was just everything by invitation. So that's what we had. Even if we can get that this year, we're 100% happy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Being content.
Charlie, are you a good one?
Now, what the nominees for this nominations or whatever categories for this year? That's a big account.
Yes. So as a matter of fact, there are 2 categories that have been added. We have the EP of the year category, and then we also have Afro Beats, Afro Pop Artist category. So these 2 categories have they've been thought of in the past. And what happened is that the scheme is responsive. So when we discover that this is where the industry is heading towards, we want to quickly respond to it or be able to be there for the industry. So quite a number of people released EPs last year, and it looks like it's becoming the in thing all around. So
okay, wait. Now you have the Afrobeat, Afropop Okay, the EP, yes, brilliant, because now you find everybody saying, oh yeah, drop it EP, drop it EP. Not just say yeah, for one can one as you went free musa, because they be not free EP no you do the album the level no and all of that. So yeah, kudos to that. But you know, Afrobeat, Afro pop no, me sure so na e can be ho and na mate ho.
No, okay,
it wasn't matched.
No, it wasn't matched. So we had Afrobeats, Afro pop, song of the year.
Song.
Yes, but we didn't have Afrobeats, Afro pop artist.
Okay.
So we didn't have any category celebrating the artistry of the people who were into Afrobeats, Afropop.
Okay.
So what it means is that people like Darko Vibes or mention them like even Camido and you know there are people who are actually doing Afropop, and they don't really have
a category
to celebrate them. Meanwhile, you had dancehall, Afrobeats. You had reggae dancehall artists celebrating reggae dancehall artists.
You had reggae
plus
dancehall song.
reggae dancehall song. You know, you have high life song, you have high life artists, but you don't have.
And this is a category which is really authentic African. So
and it's you know it's sort of like the new wave. Kelvin Boy has been you know promoting this or asking for it for God knows how long. So after analysis and stuff like that, having tabled the reasons for it, you know, it was clear that we needed to be able to include that particular category.
I think personally that a dilemma no of, you know, dancehall artists. I saw this whole discussion and I thought that, hey, this is quite easy because what dancehall artists what's a high life room, and then it could equally pass as a high life song, but then only necessarily a high life artist. Into no definitely no one to me fan and share a high life artist of the year. But then ubeti mid the nyomono akoshe a year high life song no category anymore. And yes,
yeah, because a song is a song.
A song is a song,
independent of you know where it came from. However, the person who's actually doing the music has got a particular
genre or frame.
Yes, a genre that they identify with or identify with one of those positions. So in terms of that's the identity. So basically you want to be able to celebrate the artistry. So for example, if you listen to like this, for example, who can I even say? So Stonebwoy, for example. Stonebwoy has got a high life track.
Yeah, like Sobolo.
And but he's an Afro dancehall artist. Yeah. So the fact that he's playing around in different areas.
So the song can actually be in that category of high life song, quote unquote, however they feel. And artists nankasa or no, you're different when it comes to the genre.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now that is
so
is quite.
If you listen to a pure R. Kelly album, for example, you hear some songs that are reggae. But it doesn't mean he's a reggae
artist.
He's an R&B
I think that has been the confusion and say a church musa bi anado do na betiase say na eden na mode shatawale kokko share your friend is a high life muna shatawale a high life but obi
the song the song is high life. Exactly.
It's a high life song, not high life artist.
But high life artist they onye high life artist. It is I hope say unyanti ase bi e wo mu kakra me kan say me ba baby say mu am wa kire mu kakra because e bi ono mu a wo kan won cardboard no nti yesi o de bi entesa o de bi say wo mu but I think that, you know, the song is different from the artist. In as much as the artist sings the song, but, you know, quite different. Now, let's talk about awards album. Sisi awards babamu ama just say VGMA a question of, you know, sorry say awards be babamu to VGMA no is shaking a little bit. Is it shaking?
They were showing him.
What do you want me to say?
I was all because I am not
we are shaking or we are not shaking?
Who's shaking?
Do I look shaking?
You are not shaking.
My English is all funny. Do I look like I'm shaking? No, but
so hold on, like you got the question that you said it was going to come from the high table, right?
Yeah.
I put it to you there.
I know who you are.
You know, so it's here. Let's say.
Okay, so reality is this. I don't usually want to say on platforms and be talking about another scheme whatsoever.
Okay,
so regardless of how many times you ask me or insinuate it or you push it, I would always keep mute.
No, the reason I'm asking this, not that at all. The reason I'm saying that is VGMA has been with us for years, very grown, and the experience is priceless. Experience counts.
22 years?
So, Nyama my year and the mistakes they've corrected throughout, you know, cannot be replaced. I know that whole. but say on say on kwa wo ya de cha ya na wo ye comfortable kakra ba ne se dodo eba mu a empo atare se wo se wo ko ye fa ne se bia LV na o maba no mu se nkrofo twa bi gumu a what happens ne se na afi opese ode authenticity be ekaka ho after say no, we have numbers now, you have to check it on Google to find out whether it's original. You know, they tend to add certain things to it, not because they are shaken actually, but because they want you to
so I feel like what you say is like what do you want to improve this year?
Okay, so what it is that
what do you want to improve on?
There are always things we want to improve because we always do evaluation of the things that we have, and then there are benchmarks we also use. And for as long as we've not been able to get to where we want to get to, we always look at how we can bridge that particular gap to hit the target you're looking for. So we have our own personal targets, so to say.
What are some of the
Okay, so for example,
targets?
if you watch international events, people are making it rain on stage.
Thank you.
People are coming out from the ground. There are things happening, magic on stage. People are flying on stage. Stages are being set up and are being removed for new sets
within some short period
short period for performances to be held by new artists in that same event within a space of 2 hours. And it's happening, and we haven't gotten there yet. Those are things that we are looking to be able to reach. So we have challenge when it comes to technology. We have challenge when it comes to space. We have challenge when it comes to the facilities that we need to be able to use for all of these elements. If you go to a place like National Theatre or Conference Center, the stage is the stage. What you have is what you have. We understand. When people are doing multiple stages, stage 1, 2, 3, and 4, and and
the wheels are turning,
and the wheels, things are happening. So we have challenges that we are trying to be able to overcome. And, sometimes you want to be able to import a few things to be able to help. You need to be able to find people who are technically inclined, people who have got the experience, people who have got exposure to be able to understand. Because when people don't understand these things, you can't even work with the team delivering the job. So these are things that, we are gradually working towards. So you realize that last year we did 3 events, mainly. The first one was the Babinee's announcement party, which took place at Labadi Beach. Yes, fine. And then we now did the concert for the frontline health workers. That was a virtual concert.
It was very nice.
And we tried new things, and it was sweet and it was lovely. But then again, we were just preparing ourselves for what we're going to do at the VGMA weekend. So instead of having one night, we now had 2 nights. And the 2 nights, we had shorter programs, and we invested a lot in the performances. And for some reason, everybody's like, wow, this is way nicer. But it wasn't because we are comparing ourselves, with anything around. We're just trying to challenge ourselves in the light of the benchmark that we are still aiming at, using the resources that are available. So that is our situation at the moment.
It will cost a lot to achieve such. So financially, with regards to sponsorships and who are coming on board, how is it working?
So, for example, even this, you watched. I don't know if you watched the nominees announcement that just happened.
Yeah.
So you realize that each performance was different. Each one had its own props.
Yeah.
The field, the camera angles, everything, and these were live performances. Somebody coming from Mr. Drew coming from a silhouette background, breaking through the stuff and then hitting on stage, and then like each one, Eno Baroni on the throne, the camera angles, and the haze, and it's like each one had its own script, and that is where we want to be able to get to.
Wow.
So everything we do is we are heading towards the big plan. Okay. So you try some of the things, you work at it, you build the muscle for it, you get the people aligned, they can see where you're heading towards, even if it means importing certain things, you import. But you are taking one step at a time so that we can get there, because you want to be able to get to a point where when you look at what you have and you look at whatever is coming from outside, you are able to match it, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I get the fact that people will say X or Y. But I think the baseline for me is differentiation.
Like you guys have a set plan. And
you have a set plan, and then you should be able to challenge yourself constantly, not because somebody is playing in your field, but because it is. I mean, God gave us our feet looking forward with our face and body, so that we can walk forward.
We don't
so
look backwards,
here we are. So basically, you always have to think about how you can move forward. You know, regardless of whether your friend is holding your hand or somebody else is coming or a lion is coming, you should be moving forward, because moving forward is the auto aspect of life.
Talking about moving forward, it seems to say this time around, you have a lot of artists, than a Babiee
Yo,
because
over 1,000 nominations.
Was that a challenge? How were you able
Crazy.
to
It's a lot, and you realize that on a regular day we should have finished the nominees announcement by the end of February. But this is beginning of April.
Boys, you started different. Be they said drill.
The drill music.
Ain't you know what they
It's hip hop actually.
Hip hop.
Yeah, if you check the genre, it's hip hop. Also trap music.
Now we've realized that you're adding producers to it.
No, producers. It's always been there.
Yes, there was this category. Me share them.
Was it DJs?
The DJs have always been. Is there DJs in it?
No,
there's no DJs.
Why are they not DJs?
But the
if the board feels
they play
collaborations.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. You have collaborations.
There are collaborations. So if a DJ does music, for example, then at the end of the day, it will come through.
Yes, and there are a lot of DJs doing music now. All right,
so there are no restrictions.
Now, these are some of the collaboration of the year. We have Adina with Take Care of You. We have in the song Darko Vibes. Abahanum. No Darling, Keche, Kiddy featuring Adina with One Man. Ekoso with Enuya Kofi Jama, La Hustle remix of that one, Medical, featuring Chris Waddell and Joey B. Happy Day, Sa Kodie and Kwame Eugene, and sorry. That is your talk and wakano. Pacho Shan will be a Wakasima will be a minimo, Mr. Minhum ye. This collaboration of the year. So, okay. So you can find out that even though this is for collaboration, but you can find out these boys are doing the drill or the trap music will be found elsewhere. So
yeah, because the focus here is collaboration.
It's collaboration.
So once you have good collaboration, some works that are outstanding, you
look like this whole nomination was youth centered,
way a best rap performance, and so Wamrado best rapper. That is the song. The Eno Baroni. I think the only female in that category. That is God is a woman indeed. Joey B. So a cold medical. Stop it. Sarkodie Brown paper bag and a strong man. So with a flawless. This is a tight one. Charlie, your boy that did hustle. It's not easy, because you can find a lot of these songs coming in to have to go through all of that. Now, Vodafone most popular song of the year. Category in somewhere the bar. Every other year, popular song of the year. Now, I don't know if you're the right person to be asking, say, at the end of the month, no more popular. How do you guys actually put that? Are you the right person for us to be asking this?
I can share a few things with you, but popularity, dear. I mean, there are so many things. People need to know your song. Let me just use a very simple way to express it. A popular song is not a song you have to go and put on torchlights to look for.
It's everywhere.
The song must come to you.
What do you mean the song must come to you?
Because it's popular, it's everywhere.
You understand what I'm saying?
But in choosing this particular category,
what I'm saying is not technical. I'm just giving you so.
And you know what?
All I'm saying is that when a song is popular, you feel it's popular. You get to know about it.
Okay, and all these songs, like Atadwa, yes, Adom. Dinah Hamilton, No Darling Keche, Enjoyment, Kiddy, Sesa with what friend Kim Promise, Koso, Kofi Jama, Open Gates with Kwame Eugene, La Hustle remix here again with Medical and Joey B and yes, and Happy Day with Ayesa Kodie, sorry, with the Outog, Say Cheese, Kiddy in a song.
That's dope.
Well, that is way. Now, this time around, digital album.
Yep, you can't do without digital. So he was, for example, mentioning stats, and that's probably the most scientific way of getting stuff done. So you realize that there are platforms where you can get stats. So streaming numbers from different platforms, Airplay. There are some incredible platforms that are software solutions that are giving Airplay. Where you can see the frequency of music played and stuff like that. Just like they do with respect to adverts.
Okay.
You know, you can use to monitor adverts and then whether it's played and stuff like that. So all of those elements are coming out. Even when you go on, no, not just that. So, for example, we have street popularity too. That's got nothing to do with your streaming platforms, because you need to understand the country in which you are in. Not many people live in the cyberspace, so you may not get most of them streaming. You understand? So what you need to do now is to make sure that you have your researchers who are on ground giving you feedback from region to region about what's popular in what area and stuff like that. So that you combine all of that.
There's something where I saw, I don't know if you saw that, like Kiddy had like 2 nominations in one particular way. How did that work?
So in the past, what we've done is always tried to, the scheme have only allowed for a song to be in the category. But again, this particular year, what the decision of the board was like,
the one with
so if we are saying the most popular song of the year, the board shouldn't decide which one of your songs is popular.
Okay.
If a song is popular because it's appeared and it's popular, and so for example, you two, as you have 2 hit songs, put the 2 hit songs there and let the public decide. Because what if we go and say,
so because in that category it's only him that I saw, so those like the 2 most popular.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the story, and that's a change that has been introduced to that particular category.
I think it's brilliant.
That is a very interesting category. Brilliant. This one, the best new artist, is a very interesting one. This one is very interesting. You have Bosom, Dead People, Jackie, Kofi Jama, Mrado, Kweku Flick, LaRusso, Mr. Drew, Yao To, Kamido. This is tight.
I don't envy them at all.
You don't envy them at all. Me too. This is quite
there's a rebel woman in there.
That's what?
A rebel woman.
Oh yeah. No, but yeah, she's pushing hard.
Yeah.
And this one too is that one. Ain't you know? This time around, we should be expecting something that is more ahead of it. Into this time, we shows no be mienzana. Yes, and I'm waiting now.
Mate, I'll give you a heads up. But what it is that we are still looking at doing our 2 events in terms of the VGMA weekend. So, and we are looking at June. So, Friday and Saturday evenings. So obviously the information, the details about how it's going to pan out will certainly come out. But prior to that, we're going to have a series of things. So we have a game show that's going to come up, and it's more like music for good.
Oh, yeah.
So we want people to be able to, some of the artists to play the game and win. So if you play and you win, you're winning, let's say, X amount of masks for a hood of your choice, so that you can do donations to these folks. So yeah, you know, that kind of stuff. And then we also want to be able to do music seminar, which we've done in the past. We've brought international folks from like Sonny, Trace Music, Ben Oldfield from the Orchard. You know, like we always bring in international experts so that they can help our people get their music, you know, globally. So we are still looking at this trip. We are looking at doing master classes in certain specific areas. There are research areas that have unearthed areas that we need to be able to address or touch on. So we want to be able to organize the seminar to address issues within this specific area. So that information will also come out.
It's all about growth, eh?
Yeah, it's all about growth, career enhancements. Yeah. And then we'll have our nominees.
Waiting team no to me say Charlie, he's very confident. Like you guys have some surprises for us. We'll see.
Roll. You know, there's one thing about the PR people. They can tell you everything for you to believe, but this one is seen as believe. So what can you be? So can you be? And I
waiting team.
So we'll wait for the details anyway. But we do believe last year was great, and I do believe that this year would be great. And the categories now bending now, and we're so happy because this time around I wanted to ask you something, but hopefully you come back. So I ask you about traditional music where it will fall some other time.
We have traditional artists. We have traditional artists.
Yes.
Or we have there's a category for traditional. But usually we work with Musica to be able to bring that. So usually you will hear about that a bit later.
Okay. Well,
there's another category too that will be. There's an area. There are a few things that were not part of the release but are going to come out. And so those ones you certainly hear. But I almost said it, but let me just wait.
All right, so he doesn't want to spill the beans.
PR, we like talking. You know what I mean? Let me just wait.
They'll tell you a lot of things, they'll tell you a lot of things. And the good thing about it is that we get to see for ourselves. And so thank you so much, Ro. Hopefully, if you get more details for us, and not with the abana, so yashe, na yehuni ni omo ashe.
If I can say, two things.
Yes, please.
There's a gospel category, and one of the things that we did this year was a conscious effort to include slots for the urban gospel community.
Okay.
Because we want to be able to. So the idea was to nurture it, more like incubate it, and then eventually have a full-blown standalone category for them. Because that community is also huge, and if the youth in church are all aligned with everything urban gospel. And so we thought it was necessary to be able to respond to them, but to go with them to be able to get there. So hopefully very soon you'll also see a category in that area. But, allowance, more or less, we made a conscious effort to go with them in this particular year. So some slots were given to them.
Brilliant. Yeah. So we told you that something big is coming up. Thank you to Movies Closet for my outfit, and also to Abrantia the Gentleman for Kwesi Alex's outfit. And thank you to